Notice that right there. You had that's when William Henry, the governor William Henry, you see how he was the one who won that territory battle, when the Europeans was trying to take it. Remember that he ended up, defeating them because that just represented nothing but the whole theme of the whole that land. That land is very prominent. Hint that he was linked up with those who was whose brother was, what was he called? The prophet. Come on, man. Hint William, y'all. Remember I just broke that down about the will of I am, the will of God. You know what I'm saying? I just want to really elaborate on this. Hint, Michael Jackson comes from Indiana. Hint, Indiana is called the crossroads of America. You feel what I mean? The crossroads of America. You see that? The crossroads. Notice how Indiana, when you look at Indiana University, the I and the U, notice it looks like literally like levels. You see it look like an altar. Like you got the left and right side, and you got the top representing like the one in the middle, the highest, because that represent like the most high on the throne. You see this? Come on, y'all. Hint that right here with the whole theme of the Masons, just to prove my point about the temple, the altar. You feel what I'm saying? To reach the top of the altar, to be, as the king of the throne. You see that? Notice why Gary, Indiana is called the most depressed, miserable city. You know what I mean? Because hint, as we know anyway, this is very, I'm gonna get real deep on y'all. The whole thing of, oh, it's all miserable and depressed because that don't represent nothing. Hint, like I was breaking this down on my last video, when I was talking about the whole thing of about the depression. I think it was on my video, yeah, when I was speaking about how they don't, they fear your rebirth. That's the video. And I was talking about when they talk about depression, because remember, as we know, that the Messiah, can't save everyone. You know what I mean? Like that just living to know that you can't save everyone. You feel what I mean? And it brings, as it's written, we're long suffering, we're enduring. You got to deal with people rejecting, ignoring the truth, and you like, bro, I'm not lying to you. You know what I'm saying? But when you understand this, which is serious, is because Port Arthur is the second most miserable city behind Gary, Indiana. And when you understand Texas, which is where Port Arthur is, Texas, as we know, as is, I was breaking this down before, Texas is the Lone Star, Longhorn state. And remember that the Messiah is the Star of Bethlehem and the horns of salvation. And when you understand Port Arthur, which is very serious, because Port Arthur connects the train, you know what I mean? When you understand the train don't represent nothing but the Exodus. And what I want to talk about right quick, because hint the whole theme of the train, and that all represents nothing but the Exodus, and it's connected to Kansas. And remember, as it's written in Ezekiel 1, that the Messiah is as the whirlwind. So when you understand that, what I want to really talk about on this right quick is when you understand the Messiah as the whirlwind, hint that Kansas City is in Kansas is called, it's in a tornado alley. Hint the whirlwind and tornado alley. Remember John 3:16, for God so loved his world, so for God so loved the world that he sent his only begotten son. Hint Kansas area code is 316. And I want to just elaborate on that right quick.